In this video, you will improve your English listening and speaking skills with another true crime story. Welcome back, everyone. Imagine this. Two police officers arrive at a museum late at night. The guards let them inside. Everything seems normal, but the men are not police officers. 81 minutes later, 13 priceless works of art are gone. This is the incredible story of the biggest art heist in history. It was March 18th, 1990, just after midnight in Boston, Massachusetts. Many people were celebrating St. Patrick's Day weekend, but inside the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, two security guards were working the night shift. The museum was special. It had been founded by a wealthy art collector named Isabella Stewart Gardner. Over many years, she had collected some of the world's greatest paintings. The museum contained works by famous artists including Rembrandt, Vermeer, and Degas. Many of the paintings were priceless. The collection was considered one of the treasures of Boston. That night, only two guards were responsible for protecting it. Just after 1 a.m, something unusual happened. A buzzer sounded at a side entrance. One of the guards looked at the security camera. Outside stood two men dressed as police officers. The men claimed they were responding to a disturbance, and they said they needed to come inside. The museum had strict rules. Guards were not supposed to open the door to anyone. But the guard made a decision, and he unlocked the door. The two men entered. At first, everything seemed normal. Then one of the officers looked at the guard and said something strange. "I think there is a warrant for your arrest." The guard laughed. He thought it was a joke, but it was not a joke. The man ordered him to step away from the desk. Seconds later, the guard was handcuffed. The second guard was quickly handcuffed as well. The truth quickly became clear. These men were not police officers. They were thieves. The thieves took both guards into the basement and they tied them up using tape. Then they left them there. The guards would remain trapped for hours. Now the thieves had the museum all to themselves. For the next 81 minutes, they walked through the galleries. They were calm, they were organized, and they seemed to know exactly what they wanted. They did not steal everything they could find. It was almost as if they were following a shopping list, taking specific artworks and ignoring many other valuable pieces. One of the paintings they took was The Storm on the Sea of Galilee. It was painted by the Dutch artist Rembrandt. It remains the only seascape he ever painted. The thieves also stole another Rembrandt painting and a small self-portrait by the artist. But perhaps the most valuable piece they took was a painting called The Concert. It was created by the Dutch master Johannes Vermeer. Today, it is considered one of the most valuable missing artworks in the world. The thieves removed the paintings from their frames. In some cases, they cut the canvases directly from the walls. They also stole drawings and several smaller objects. In total, 13 pieces disappeared. Then, just before 3 in the morning, the thieves left. They climbed into a vehicle and vanished into the night as the guards remained tied up in the basement. Several hours later, workers arrived at the museum. They noticed something was wrong and rapidly called the police, the real police. When investigators entered the galleries, they discovered an incredible scene. Empty frames still hung on the walls. Some of the museum's greatest treasures were gone. News of the crime quickly spread around the world, and the FBI launched a major investigation. Agents interviewed witnesses, and they studied security footage. They searched for fingerprints and clues, but solving the case would not be easy. The thieves had left very little evidence behind. As investigators learned more about the crime, they became impressed by the thieves' planning. The robbery had been carried out without violence. The thieves had entered the museum using a simple disguise, and they had escaped before anyone realized what was happening. Over the years, many theories appeared. Some investigators believed organized crime groups were involved. Others thought the paintings had been stolen for wealthy art collectors. There were even rumors that the artworks had been moved overseas, but no theory could be proven. The missing paintings seemed to have disappeared completely. The value of the stolen art continued to increase. Some estimates placed the value at more than $500 million, making it the largest art theft in history. The museum desperately wanted the artworks returned, and a large reward was offered. Millions of dollars were promised to anyone who could help recover the paintings, but the reward did not solve the mystery. The museum decided not to replace the stolen paintings. Instead, the empty frames still hang on the walls. Visitors can see the spaces where the masterpieces once hung. The empty frames serve as a reminder of what was lost. More than 30 years have passed since the robbery. Many of the original suspects have died, but there is still a major problem. The stolen artworks have never been recovered, and the FBI don't have enough proof. Nobody knows exactly where they are. They could be hidden in a basement, locked inside a warehouse, stored in a secret private collection, or perhaps they no longer exist at all. No one can say for certain. 13 priceless works of art vanished in just 81 minutes. And despite decades of investigation, the mystery remains unsolved. Now let's see what you understood with a quick quiz. Press pause if you don't have enough time to answer, and don't forget to answer out loud for extra speaking practice. Are you ready? How did the thieves enter the museum? The answer is they disguised themselves as police officers and convinced a guard to let them inside. How many guards were working that night? 2 guards were working at the museum. How many artworks were stolen? 13 artworks were stolen in total. Can you describe what happened to the guards? Press pause. the guards were handcuffed, tied up, and locked in the basement. Have the stolen paintings been recovered? The answer is no, the artworks are still missing. What was unusual about the storm on the Sea of Galilee? And the answer is, it was the only seascape ever painted by Rembrandt. And final question, what can visitors still see in the museum today? And the answer is the empty frames where the stolen pieces of art once hung. More than 30 years later, nobody knows where the paintings are. What do you think happened? Were the robbers following a shopping list? Let me know below in the comments. Also, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hype to support my work. It really helps. And if you are ready for another story, you can click here. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.